And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. With me, I have a very special guest with me. As a matter of fact, she actually ended up doing a little short film that I happened to review recently, and I actually enjoyed the film. And I'm actually going to be talking to Emily Ruhl, and I cannot wait to be diving into this with her. I can't wait to interview her. So, without further ado, let's go on ahead. Let's get on with the show. I'm excited for this. And hey, Emily, how are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. Thanks for having
You're
me.
welcome. You're very welcome, and it's good to have you on here. And I just want to say you have quite an amazing resume over here. You were actually a model. You ended up having your own production company and stuff like that. So I'm just wondering, like, how did the start of the production company come into place, and how did that wind up happening?
I started modeling when I was pretty young. I was 13 when that happened. And then every model wants to act, every actor wants to direct, and every director wants to produce. So that's kind of how we ended up here. I wrote and directed my first short film, Blue Moon, during the pandemic, and realized then that I wanted to make movies over and over again. And the best way to do that is to have a production company. So that's how Public School Pictures was formed.
That's amazing, to be honest with you, to be able to do something like that and start something from nothing, and then I'm all the way to doing a short film as well. And what did the idea for Blue Moon come about? I'm just wondering.
Blue Moon was a combination of a few different ideas. So it was during COVID and kind of the tail end. And I had gone on a couple first dates that were pretty magical. And my friend had just started seeing women. She actually is in the film. Her name is Olivia Barris, and expressed how she felt underrepresented in film. And so it was important to me that she felt represented in my film and that she also acted in it. So it was her story of dating women and exploring her sexuality mixed with my story of discovering love and existing in just a single night.
That's pretty amazing. I like that whole entire concept of where you're using basically all your past experiences and then wrapping it into a movie and film. And I think that's actually a great way to actually do something, you know?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Very welcome. And Sleepy G. Hey, how you doing, Gomez? It's good to actually hear from you. But yeah, another thing I wanted to mention was this. Okay, so I ended up reviewing your newest film that you produced. I believe it was actually in the Garden of Tulips,
Mm-hmm.
and I gotta say that movie is very moving. And it's the fact that I love the camera angles. I love how it's set up with a father and daughter relationship. And you're not very sure about where this is actually going to go or anything like that. You know that this is a road trip. And then all of a sudden it breaks into a song. And I thought the song was actually a sweet settlement to what we're about to experience because, like, okay, so this is a fun road trip. And then you find out later on, oh, she's escaping from something and her father's protecting her from that. So I like how there's like a little bit of a twist towards the end of it to make you realize, okay, so this is not a fun road trip. This is actually something that basically the father's trying to protect the daughter. So I definitely like that concept.
Thanks. I appreciate it. And Ava, who plays the daughter and also is the writer of the short film, she's playing her mother. So that is her mother's story, which I think
Oh
is really
wow.
special. Yeah.
So where did this idea come about too? Because okay, I know that's a deep thing to actually grab somebody else's story and then try to turn it into something and try to keep true to some details into a short film because you can tell a lot within a 2.5 hour movie, but it's quite where you actually have to cut it into a short. I know that has to be challenging.
I think it can be challenging. I also think it can be exciting. I think well, I know when I came into the picture, there was already a script, so it was really amazing to be able to read what was now reflected on the screen. Ava and Julia, Ellie, who is the director, they put together a really beautiful lookbook, so I got to see what they were thinking. There was a little bit of a teaser. So it was a wonderful experience in the sense that I got to already kind of peek into their head and see what was this going to look like. And I just thought it was so beautiful and really melodically written that I knew I wanted to be a part of it. And it's been such a cool process to be involved and give feedback when it comes to sound design and poster design and key art and things like that. And they've been so lovely to work with. And I think it's so wonderful that Ava's mom gets to watch this and have a piece of her story be immortalized.
And what better way to tell it through the eyes and lenses of her own daughter to tell
Mm-hmm.
that story?
They
And
look a
that's
lot
just a
alike
beautiful
too,
thing.
which is pretty cool. They look a lot alike, which is really cool.
That's amazing. And
Mm-hmm.
also too, I like looking at different cultures. I like looking and seeing where other people are from and stuff like that, and I'm learning from them and stuff like that too. And I liked the fact that this is actually told within 5 minutes of what her culture is, what her religion is, and things like that. You got your production company definitely captured the magic of this road trip. And I was wondering from start to finish, how is this going to play out? And the thing that caught me off guard in a great way, not in
Mhm.
a bad way or anything like that, was the whole entire thing where all of a sudden it turns into a song. I'm like, wait, I'm not used to this. So I like that whole entire change of pace where now you have like a happy moment within this thing and going through memories of the father and her having this road trip and also sharing moments with I thought was another beautiful thing within the writing.
Thanks. I think that that's a representation of life. Even in moments of tension or in moments of grief, we find moments of joy and happiness. And I think that moment for them was really connecting to her childhood and memories they share together. And one last song with her father. It's one of my favorite moments. It's a real song that really exists. I believe they did a little bit of a remix on it as far as the harmonies were concerned, but it's one of my favorite moments because she is joyful and she's enjoying the last moments with her father rather than crying over them, which obviously does happen. But I think that that's a really beautiful moment.
I think so too. I think that's actually a really beautiful moment because you need a moment like that in this thing because of the fact that it is a sad moment for them. They don't know if they're ever going to come back to one another either,
Yeah.
as well. And that's also very impactful at that time because they're like, okay, we're basically going to be missing each other after this, but I just need to celebrate this little moment with you while I still have you.
Yeah. And I think that so many of us can relate to that with our parents, especially as you get older and realizing that you don't have them as long that you thought you did and
Right.
making the most of
Because
the moments that you do.
you know what? I'm glad that you mentioned that because that was something that I actually felt, and whenever I was watching this too, I'm like, as we're younger, we actually think that we have our parents forever,
Forever.
and then life goes on, and then you get older, and then you realize your parents are aging as you're getting older. Like, wait, I don't have my parents as long as I thought I did, and I'm
Mhm.
going through that process now with certain things in my life, and it was just one of those things. Was like it's just mind blowing, things like that and, I was just thinking to myself too, I'm like, I would like for other people to be able to experience the same experience that I'm experiencing with this film to where they can relate to it because I think that this can actually have legs to go even further than a short film because I think that this movie is incredible. I think that the story is just moving and heartwarming. I love everything about this film. This movie sticks with you as well and even today at work, for instance, okay, this is no lie either, because I'm over here, I'm thinking about my dad who has Alzheimer's, who has cancer, and my mom who's also aging, and I'm just going back on that. It's like, wait a minute, I'm just like how the main character in this movie is. I'm like, I don't have my parents as long as I thought. It's just like one of those things where I just had to sit back and like, wow, that's very deep, you know.
Yeah, I think I've had some of those realizations too. And thank you so much. I'm so glad it resonated with you on that level. And I think we should all sing with our parents a little bit more.
I think so too.
Mhm.
'Cause we're not the way I see it is this, nothing is forever.
Mhm.
Everything, happens for a reason, and you need to spend as much time as you can with your parents while they're here.
Exactly.
And, I have to agree with Gomez, like, with this, he said he needs to see this movie, has a great message the way we are talking about it. Now, I know this is not released to the public yet or anything, but is there a chance for it to be released to the public to see this short film in the future?
It's going to be playing at a handful of several other festivals. So you can look for updates at In the Garden of Tulips on Instagram or at Public School Pictures on Instagram. And I believe some of these festivals have an online component so you can stream the film.
Okay. Because I like to actually post that in the comments and everything too in the description
Oh,
because
great.
I
Yeah.
actually
We have a festival
because
coming
yeah.
up, so I'll make sure to send you that information.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate that because I do get comments and it's like, wait, I want to see this film the way that I'm actually describing it in my reviews. It's like, where can I find it at? So that's something that's very helpful. So thank you.
Of course.
Um, let's see. Gomez says losing my dad at 21 is the hardest for him. He was my best friend, brother, and father all in one.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, I think that to be honest with you, I think this would actually relate to anybody, no matter it's a mother or father-daughter relationship or a either way it goes, it's about parenting. It's about the connection with your child and everything too. So I'm thinking that it can actually resonate with father and daughter relationship, father and son relationship, and have that type of way of actually looking at it through those lenses, not just on a mother of father daughter relationship.
I think so
I,
too, and I think that's one of the beautiful things about filmmaking is I'm not Jewish and I'm not Iranian, but this film really connected with me, and I love that about cinema, and I love that it also showed me a world that I am not a part of, that I wouldn't have really known about otherwise, and I think that that exposure to other stories is really significant, and you come to realize that we're all extraordinarily similar.
Most definitely. And one other question, because I know we that you have some other things that you have to take care of, but the filming locations of this film, how did you guys come up with the filming locations and things like that to really capture this?
Well, Julia Ellie, who's the director, Ava, the writer, and the lead actress, and Aaron Lemley, who is the producer. I believe they were all out scouting locations around Santa Clarita in California and came across this spot that doubles for Iran, which is pretty incredible. I think it's out by Bakersfield. And I mean, I'm shocked. It looks like a double. And they found it. I remember seeing pictures and thinking, oh my God, it's so perfect. And it's only outside of LA. This is awesome. So
Wow.
yeah, it's the suburbs of LA.
That's mind blowing,
Mhm.
Emily, to be honest with you, because I was thinking this is actually out in another country somewhere.
Yeah, they did
Because
a great
just
job.
the cinematography is fantastic. It sucked me right in. It was very atmospheric, the way it just pulls you in to this world. And you guys did a very good job at this movie. I think that this movie's incredible. I think this film's gonna have a lot of people talking about it, a lot of buzz around the short film festivals and stuff like that to come. And I
Thank
think it's
you so
gonna
much.
resonate
I
with
really
everyone.
appreciate it. Thank you
Very
so much.
welcome.
I really appreciate it.
Very welcome. Well, I know this is a little short or whatever, but anytime that you want to be on the show, just shoot me an email. Get your publicist or whatever to send me out an email and everything. I'll review anything that you have. I'll have you
Oh,
back on
thank
the
you so much.
show. You're very welcome, and I wish you the best of luck to you in this
Thanks. You
festival.
too, John. Thank you
Very
so much.
welcome. Anytime. With that being said, guys, this is going to be it as far as this interview goes. And I hope everyone has a great and safe night. You have a good rest of your day, though, Emily. I do appreciate this.
Of course.
And we'll see you guys on the next one. I hope that everyone has a great night.